Dear learners, welcome you all in another session of the course Systematics of Angiosperms. Today we will going to explore the family Arecaceae, which is previously called as Palmi family. Now moving towards the systematic position of the family Arecaceae or Palmi. As you can see, this is the systematic classification given by Bentham Hooker system, and this particular family Arecaceae is placed in the monocotyledony in the series Calycinae. So this particular family has a series Calycinae in the monocots. As you can see here it is placed by the Bentham and Hooker system of classification. In Calycinae, it is placed in this particularly, which is previously called as Palmi. Later, its names changes due to the botanical nomenclature rules. So now the current name of this particular family is Arecaceae. So if we compare the systematic position of the family Arecaceae or Palmi, as we have discussed that Bentham placed this family monocotyledony and the series is Calcinae, while Engler and Prantl placed also this particular family in monocotyledony, but the order is Princeps. So this is the systematic position of family Arecaceae or Palmi according to Bentham and Engler and Prantl system. Now moving towards the distribution of this particular family, Arecaceae or palmi, which is also called as Erica or beetle palm, because this is the main plant of this particular family is like Erica, which is in particular that arise from the beetle palm. This particular family includes around 217 genera and 2500 species. So you can see this is a quite large family of monocot which has a many genera, and the members of this particular family is confined to the tropics in both the hemisphere and extending in the warmer regions of the world. And in India, it is represented by around 225 species that belongs to the 25 genera. So this particular family is generally distributed all over the world, typically in the tropics or in the hemisphere of the warmer regions of the world, which has a common name palm family or Erica due to the its main significant plant, that is the beetle palm. Now, if we see the vegetative characters of this particular family, as you can see here, many of the plants, they have a quite large trees. As you can see, these are the large unbranched trees, as in case of Phoenix, Erica, Catechu. These all the have a habit of large unbranched trees. As you can see this from particular image, they have a large tree habit. Besides this, generally they are also shrubs or garden palms. They may be trailing woody vines, as in case of calamus, or they may be herbs, as in case of Reinhardtia. But most commonly they are large trees, large unbranched trees, as we can see in this particular images. So they also have some other habits like shrubs or trailing vines, as in calamus or maybe herbs. So now moving towards the roots of this particular family. Arecaceae family, generally they have adventitious roots that's arising from the base of the bulbous stem. They have a thick aerial root also found in some species like in Manicaria. Besides this, many genera of this particular family also have a mycorrhizal association that help in the absorption of nutrients. So this particular family also have in some plant they showing the mycorrhizal association of their roots with the fungus. So this is all about the root. Now moving toward the stem. As you can see in this particular image, stem is stout or slender aerial, and you can see these are the large trees. So they have a woody and erect stem. Generally they are unbranched, but sometime it may be also branched, as in case of hyphae. In some they also have a short rhizome, as in case of nipa. Generally they are cylindrical, as you can see here. Sometimes they also have a hairs on the stems. Old stem generally protected by woody leaf bases, as you can see here. They in some cases the stem may be climbing as in case of calmus. So you can see depending upon the habit of the plant there is a variation in the stem type, but in general the stem is erect, unbranched and woody as we can see here, and they have a woody leaf bases which we can see here in this particular image. Now moving towards the leaves. Leaves is the one of the main peculiar feature of this particular family, palmy, or you can say Arecaceae. Generally the leaves are alternate and crowded at the apex of the stem as we can see in this particular image, and giving a palm-like appearance to the plants. So that's why due to the appearance of their unbranched stem and leaves which are arranged at the top and giving a crown-like appearance, these have a palm-like appearance of the plant body. Generally leaves are petiolate as you can see here, and they have a leaf sheathing basis and broad, and these leaves are the broad and persistent. Generally they are exstipulate. Sometimes the leaves are compound, maybe pinnately compound as in case of Phoenix and Erica, and maybe palmately compound as in case of Borassus. Generally they have a acute apex, thick, leathery, and they have a parallel venation. As we have already discussed that monocot plants, they have a some characteristic feature, like in the leaves generally they have a parallel venation. So because it is a monocot plants, that's why it is showing the leaves showing the parallel venation as we can see here. Besides this, in some arborescent taxa, the adjacent leaf sheaths forming a and they form a overlap with each other and forming a crown shaft as we can see in this particular image. So this is a trunk due to the formation of young leaves. The leaf bases, they have a compactly leaf bases that overlap with each other, and above the just above the stem they are forming the crown shaft as we can see here. And beside this, in some other taxa they have a which have a palmate leaves. In another taxa that have a palmate leaves which have a distinctive process called hastula as you can see here, that may be present in the junction between the petiole and blade. So you can see here at the junction of the petiole and the blade there is a formation of a hastula that is formed at the junction of petiole and blade as in case of Caprenica. So these are the some characteristic feature of this particular family Arecaceae, and leaves that gives the, because of this variety of leaf they have a very dense foliage, and many of the plants are used as a ornamental plants because of their beautiful foliage leaves. Now moving towards the fuller characteristic of the family Arecaceae, and starting from the inflorescence. They are showing the quite variance in the inflorescence types, like in some this particular family showing some variation in the inflorescence, like in some there is a simple racemose type as in case of Borassus, maybe compound racemose in case of Cocos, or even profusely branched panicled as in case of Demonocorps. Usually, but generally they have a spadix with a woody spathy which opens by two valves, and the spadix may have sessile or pedicellate flowers. As you can see here, this is a spathy which has a numerous inflorescences. This is termed as the spadix, and these flowers may be pedicellate or may be sessile, and each particular flower they may be have a plant may be monoecious or dioecious. We will discuss this in later. So you can see these are the male flower and this is the female flower. As you can see here, these are the male flower and this one is the female flower, this one is the single male flowers. So moving toward the next slide, that is the flower. Flowers generally they are sessile or maybe they have a very short pedicel. They are bracteate and generally they are mostly unisexual as in case of Phoenix, but sometimes they may be bisexual as in case of Livingstonia. They are actinomorphic, showing the radial symmetry. They may be incomplete or complete, hypogynous, trimerous in nature. That means all the floral parts are present in the multiples of 3. Flowers are usually small size and produced in large number. As you can see here, there is a quite large number of flowers is produced, which is protected by the bracts, that is the spathe. And the plant may be monoecious or dioecious. So if the plant is monoecious, then the position of male and female flower is quite variable in gender, depending upon there is a quite variation. In some, male flower present at the base and the female flower present at the apex, as in case of Raphia and Rhaphes. So this is the one type of arrangement in the monoecious plant. The second is, in the case there is a male and female flowers are intermingled, there will be no particular separation in the male and female flowers in the inflorescence. Or in the third case, maybe the female flower in the center and male flower are present on the both either side of the female flowers, as in case of Cocos and Caryota. So the plants are generally monoecious or maybe dioecious. In monoecious, the position of the male and female flowers is quite different depending upon to gender, and the flower is maybe unisexual or bisexual. So as you can see in this particular image, there is a male flower and this one is showing the female flower, and you can see this is a protected by, from this particular diagram, this is protected by the large bract that is termed as the spathe, and the whole inflorescence is termed as the spadix. And you can see here from there is a large number of flowers are produced in one time. So now moving towards the next floral character, that is the perianth. Perianth, that unit has the sepals. Now moving towards the next floral character, that is perianth. Perianth generally 6 in numbers. They are arranged in 2 whorls with each 3 in each whorls. As you can see, these are the tepals which are arranged outside the stamens, and these are the polyphylous, that means they are either separated, they are not jointed with the each other. So the tepals are 6 in numbers, they are arranged in 2 whorls, they all are polyphylous, or sometimes they may be slightly connate at the base. Perianth lobes are very tough, persistent and coriaceous in nature, sometimes may be leathery or fleshy. As you can see here in this particular image, they are looking like look like lot of leathery and fleshy. Generally they have a valvate or imbricate estimation, and the white maybe or maybe petaloid in case, they can see this is the color is the yellow in color perianth. So the floral part, the tepal perianth is present in the 6 in number in this particular family, Arecaceae. Now moving towards the next floral character, that is androecium. As we have discussed earlier, androecium is present in either in the male flower or either in the case of bisexual flowers, but in general the Arecaceae family generally they have a male flower separately. Generally the flowers have a unisexual flower. So there is a stamen number are also 6. They are also arranged in 2 whorls. There is a 2 whorls, there is a presence of 3 stamens in each whorls. They all are polyandrous. Sometimes the staminodes may be present in the female flowers, but in general male flowers has a 6 stamen which are arranged in 2 whorls. For each one they have a 3 stamens. The anthers are versatile, dithecous, bassi or dorsifix, as you can see here, and the filaments are quite short and distinct. This is the male inflorescence. You can see here, this is a male flower. You can see there is a 6 number of stamens. This is the LS of a male flower, showing you can see here the filament size is quite short, and these are the staminal tube. They may be unite from the base. So these are the stamens and showing the male flower, but you can see these are the 6 number of stamens. They are bithecous and they are generally these are the basifixed or maybe dorsifixed. As you can see, these are the stamens of male flowers. Now moving towards the next floral character, that is gynoecium. Gynoecium is also present either in the female flower or in the bisexual flower, generally made up of tricarpellary, and there is maybe apocarpus or syncarpus, and ovary is superior, trilocular showing exile presentation as you can see here, and single ovule in each locule as you can see from this particular image. Style is quite short. From this image you can see stigma is small or broad or lobed. From this particular image you can see here. So this particular image you can see this is the perianth, that is a very small perianth. This one is the pistil and this is the pistillate flower you can see, which is have a very short style in nature, and this is the female inflorescence in which female flower is arranged, and you can see here this is the female flower with bract, and you can see the style is quite short. This is the ilex of flower and the stigma is lobed. We clearly seen from this, and the TS of ovaries clearly showing that is that it has a axial presentation, and each locule there is a presence of a one ovule. So this is the female part, that is the gynoecium, and then this is the pistillate flower of the family Arecaceae. Now moving towards the fruits. Usually fruits are berry or maybe fleshy or fibrous waxy coating on the fruit, and the mature fruit contains a single seed as in case of phoenix, or drupe type fruits as in case of Cocos nucifera. So you can see here the fruit may be berry or they contain a one seeded the fruits. Now moving toward the next character, that is fruit. Usually fruit is berry which has a fleshy or fibrous waxy coating on the fruit as you can see in this particular image, and at the maturity of the fruit contain a single seed as in case of phoenix, or in case of drupe as in you can see the drupe type of fruit is present in the Cocos nucifera. As you can see this is a quite hard endocarp, this is the fleshy mesocarp, and this is the single seeded seed, and the seed is quite endospermic in nature. And if we see the floral formula of this particular family, if the flower is bisexual, there is a symmetry, that is radial symmetry. In the case of bisexual, there is a both male and female flower is present. The perianth is present in 6 in number and they are arranged in 3 plus 3. Androecium is also 6 in number and they are also arranged in 3 plus 3, and the gynoecium may be apocarpus or syncarpus and there is a superior ovary. And if there is only female flower, as you can see here, generally androecium is absent and the gynoecium is 3 or 3 in nature. In the male flower, androecium is, the perianth number is 3 and 3 and the androecium is 3 plus 3 and the gynoecium is generally absent. This is the floral formula of the family Arecaceae. Now moving towards the next diagnostic characters of the family Arecaceae. As we have seen that the main, now moving toward the diagnostic characters of the family Arecaceae. As we have earlier seen that this particular family has a mainly trees, they are quite stout and unbranched stem ending with crown of leaves. So this is the one of the identification of the family Arecaceae that has a unbranched stem that has a crown of leaves. That's why this plant are look like a palm like appearance, and the leaves are quite large, compound, and generally they have a alternate phyllotaxy, and young leaves are plicate and exstipulate with long petioles. And the inflorescences are enclosed in a persistent spathe as we have seen earlier. They have a prominent spathe. This spathe is maybe sometimes woody in nature and this is a persistent. And the flower is generally unisexual but sometimes maybe bisexual. Perianth is 6 in number in 2 whorls in each. In male flowers, they have a 6 system and also in the 2 whorls, and anthers are versatile. And the female flower carp is also 3, but they are maybe apocarpus or syncarpus with superior ovary, trilocular or rarely unilocular. The fruit is berry or drupe, as we have seen the berry as in case of phoenix or drupe as in case of Cocos nucifera, and the seed is endospermic in nature. So this is the diagnostic character of the family Arecaceae, and one of the feature is foliage and this unbranched stem. That is the most diagnostic feature of this particular family with quite large inflorescence spadix. Now moving toward the some common plant of this particular family, that is Arecaceae. We all are familiar with the some plant like Arecaceae, which is also called as betel nut palm. In Hindi, it is called as supari. Then borassus, which is also called as palmyra palm or toddy palm. Then the next most common plant is Cocos nucifera, which is also called as coconut palm or nariyal. Then Corypha elata, which is also called as tolipet palm. Then Calamus rotang, which is also called as cane palm, or maybe it is also known as in Hindi, that is babe. Then Phoenix dactylifera, that is called as date palm. In Hindi, it is commonly called as khajur. Then Phoenix pendulosa, it is a mangrove plant. Then Phoenix sylvestris, which is a wild date plant, that is a jungly khajur. Then Nypa fruticans, which is also a mangrove plants. Then Roystegia, that is also called as a royal palm. So you can see this is the some many common plants here listed in this particular family like Areca, Cocos, Phoenix. So many plants have a ornamental value as well as many of them are used as a fruit like khajur and cocos, which has yield the oil that is consumed as well as a fruit, while its fruit also yield a oil that is used in cooking in many cosmetic industry. So this particular family also have a quite economic importance from variation from food to medicinal as well as in pharmaceutical industries. And in this particular slide, this particular figures showing the floral details of the Cocos nucifera, which is the most common plant we all have seen. As you can see, this is the plant of the whole plant of Cocos nucifera, and this one is showing the inflorescence of this particular family. As you can see, one of the characteristics of this particular family is the presence of persistent spathy. As you can see, it is protecting the inflorescence. So this particular unbranched stem, then crown of leaves as shown, as we have discussed earlier, then the presence of spathy that is protecting the inflorescence, that is spadix. Then this is a single radicula showing the inflorescence, and this is a single flower. As you can see, this is a male flower. You can see these are the all the flower part that are arranged in the trimerous flower. There is a number of stamens. As you can see here, there is 6 number of stamens. Then perianth is also 6. They are arranged in 2 valves. And this one is the female flower, as you can see here. And this is the TS of the ovary, which showing the exact presentation, and each locule you will find here, that is trilocular ovary with one ovule in each locule. And this one is the floral diagram. You can see here in the male flower there is a perianth which is arranged in 2 valves and the stamens number is 6 here present in, while in the female flower you can also see there is a perianth in 2 valves and it's showing the exile presentation with triculturally syncarpus superior ovary. So here you can see this particular slide showing all the characteristics we have discussed earlier, that this particular family is a tall tree. Generally they have a crown of leaves, the inflorescence and the spadix types, and they have a unisexual flower in general. As we have seen, this is the pistillate flower. Sorry, this one is the pistillate flower, this one is the staminate flower, and here the floral diagram of male flower, and this one is the floral diagram of female flower. So you can see here, this particular slide showing all the characteristics of the family Arecaceae. Now moving towards the next common plant, that is Arecaceae. As we have discussed earlier in the habit, that in some particular plants there is a quite prominent mark of the leaves. As we can see here, these are the leaves scars which become woody. As you can see in this particular Arecaceae, they have a prominent leaf marks which we can see in this particular stem. This is the entire plant. As you can see in this particular image, the leaves are present at the top, and this is the crown shaft. And here you can see this is the gynoecium, this is the flower, and here it is showing the inflorescence, and this is a male flower, and this is the gynoecium of the female flower. This one is the young fruit, and this one is the seed. And here this is the floral diagram of the male flower. You can see here there is also perianth arranged in 2 valves, and there is a number of 6 stamens present on the male flowers, while in the female flowers you can see here there is a perianth which is 6 in numbers. Here you can see it is showing the TS of ovary, that's showing the unilocular. As we have discussed earlier, that some plant also have a unilocular ovary. So this is the floral details of the. So in this particular slide, you can see the floral details of the Arecaceae, which is the next common plant that occur in the India. Now moving towards the economic importance of the family Arecaceae. Now starting from the food, like pith of the metroxylon ramphi and metroxylon leaves, that are also called as the sago palm yield sago for the commercial purpose, and the sap of burasas yield a sugar which is fermentation gives alcoholic drink that is termed as the toddy. That's why the name is the toddy palm. Then the fruits of the Phoenix dactylifera, that is in Hindi called as khajur, are very delicious and eaten throughout the Arab world, but now it is also eaten throughout the world because of its healthy benefits. And the nuts of Areca catachu, that is in Hindi termed as supari, serve as the masticatory and used with bitter leaves. And the milk of Cocos nucifera makes a refreshing drink, and the endosperm is retained raw and stored when dry. So these are the some economic importance of this particular family. Besides this, Cocos nucifera also yield oil that we will discuss later. Beside this particular family also has a medicinal benefits, like tender leaves of calamus are given in the bilunus and worms and dyspepsia, and thus this particular family also yield fibers, like mesocarps of the drupes of coconut are extremely useful in case of stuffing pillows and sofa sets, and the cane of commerce is obtained from the Calamus junius and Calamus rotank are used for the making mat, baskets and other furnitures. And Brosus flabiolus yield palmyra fiber that used in preparation of brushes and brooms. And the leaves are used in manufacture of hand fans, umbrellas, baskets and mats. So you can see this particular family also has a medicinal employment importance. In case of food, they also have a medicinal importance, and they also yield many beneficial fibers. Beside this, they also yield some important wax and oils, like wax is obtained from the leaves of Copernicia and Ceruloxylon, and these wax are earlier used in the making of gramophone records. Now they are used in the making of candles and models. Beside this, coconut oil is obtained from the Cocos nucifera, is used in as a hair oil in soap industry and also for cooking. Besides all this economic importance, this particular family is also used as ornamental plants. Many of these plants, like royal palm, which is also called as Rosaceae regia, and Caryophylleta is known as a teleport palm. These palm are used as a garden ornamentals, and they make a garden very beautiful, because royal palm, which has a very vertical height, that give a vertical elegance element to the any garden. So these particularly royal palm, that is name of this particular family's plant, is used as a vertical elements in the garden to give a height to the garden site. So this is the economic importance of this particular family. And if we see the primitive characters present in this particular family, like most of the plants are trees, this is the one of the primitive characters. And in some genera, their leaves are spirally arranged, and the flowers are actinomorphic, hypogynous, and sometimes it may be bisexual. And the gynoecium is apocarpus in some genera, like in case of phoenix and rhapis, and the ovary is superior. So there are some list of primitive characters present in this particular family, Arecaceae. But beside this, it's showing lots of advanced characteristics, like small herbaceous forms are also present in this particular family. Leaves are compound and exstipulate. Inflorescence is a spadix types. Perianth is present, and the flowers usually they have a unisexual flowers, like in cocos. Then flowers are trimerous. Stamens are epiphyllous. Gynoecium is tricarpillary. Syncarpus. Generally they are rarely they are unilocular, and the style is very short or absent. So these are some advanced characteristics present in this particular family, Arecaceae. And if we see the affinities of this particular family Arecaceae, the render places this family together with the Arecaceae and spadixflorae due to the unisexual flowers and occurrence of spadix inflorescence. But Hutchinson traces the origin of this particular palm family from the liliefolian stock directly from Liliaceae through Dracaena, that is cordyline, through the cordyline. That's why they put them. So Altman also reports similar pollen structure of palm and Dracaena. So Palmaceae family or maybe Arecaceae family is closely related to the Liliaceae in the palm-like habit of Yucca, Dracaena of Liliaceae, and the perianth segment stamen in two valves, tricarpularis in carpus, ovary, and structure of pollen grain that is also similar to Dracaena. So these particular families have a many resemblance with the Liliaceae family that we have discussed earlier. So there may be originated from the Liliaceae through the Dracaena to the cordyline. So this is all about the family Arecaceae, and this particular family, it is have a very large record. It is a very ancient plant that exists from the very 80 million years old, and they have a quite large evolutionary history. So this particular family has a very interesting and also have a many beneficial aspects also. So that's all for the today. Next we will learn about the some other monocot family. So that's all for today. Thank you for joining this session. That's all for me today.